Hey guys, I'm Ron Pare, and over a year ago, July 21st, 2014, I started Gillmeister Coal, and, you know, a couple of things got in the way of me finishing the project, so I had to put it to the side, up in the rafters to be specific, and, you know, move on to other projects because they were paying projects and this is just for fun. And, you know, really the amount of detail that goes into a project like this, you know, it'll never be paid for. You know, nobody would ever pay for this type of modeling. This is the type of stuff that you do for yourself, and that's it. You know, like, who could afford this? Unless it's going to a museum and, you know, they like you to donate that stuff. But anyways, years passed, I worked down in North Carolina on this layout, and then worked locally on this layout, and also built the Rapido photo prop. So I've had things on the go, guys. Cut me some slack, right? So I'm still working locally, and that's not changed, but I wanted to do a little tour of this diorama, that's what it is now, and show you what I've done to bring it back to life. The coal tower's in the exact same spot as it was. I think I've got the footage for the office building. I'll try to retrieve that and make that into an episode, probably episode 6. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe we don't need it. You know, it's just a simple build. Maybe I'll pop segments into episode 6. Yeah, that's what I'll do. That's what we're doing. Anyways, so what I did to build this section was I had a bunch of downtown deco kits. 3 are on this layout from a past job, and like they didn't fit into the layout as it worked out, so the kits were just sold off to me, and I traded some hours in for them. The bank is a Frenchman Model Works Hamlet bank, I think he called it, or something like that. It's a one-piece resin structure. I loved every bit of building it because it was like, wham bam, thank you ma'am. It was actually a clinic in brick painting. That's what I really liked about it. And Imagine That laser art kit. I think it's a lion's head. But this is a work in progress. There's nothing finished on this. It is ongoing. So let's start with the tour in the front here. This is Adam Street building, I think, from downtown deco. I could be totally wrong with these structures. If I'm wrong with the name, put it down in the comments. I'd love to see it. I'm gonna retouch up the brick. I'm gonna add some mortar to the texture. There's a lot of gray paint on the roof that you can see, but painting is all about layerings, and I wanted to get a dry brushing of a good portion of gray because this is an old building. And that's where it is right now. I'm going to dry brush some other colors, especially some charcoal, darker grays, maybe weathering stuff. This side little lean-to is made out of tissue paper that I have spray painted. I've used strip wood frames to set it up, glued them together and stuff like that. I used Rust-Oleum spray paint for the tissue paper, and the color was satin nutmeg for the lower tarpaulin, and the top was brilliant blue gloss, and it worked out fantastically. Inside, there's no lighting. I put a micro light in there, so it will be lighted when I get it lit up, but there's supplies in there, and kind of like... This is an auction house, so it's going to have an auction sign on the other side, and that's going to be supplies and stuff like that. I guess it's a trustworthy neighborhood. I'm sorry I didn't get it on camera. It was just an inspirational moment that I just had a little bit of a vision and went for it. And you just don't set up lights and camera for these kinds of things. Sorry. But the tarp action doesn't stop there. Around the corner, and I don't know if I placed the car too close to the other tarp, but I cut a piece off and I put 3M glue on one side of the tarp and glued it to the car and pulled it in a certain way that made it look like the tarp was pulled over the car. So I wonder if the blue clashes with the tarp beside it, but you know, this is real life, and I think it's going to work out where it is. I don't know. I might move it, but I doubt it. Moving on, the structure on the corner, I forget what kit it's part of. Still working on the brick. There's a little bit too much white coming through the brick, and I want to tone it down a bit. I want to weather up the sign just a tad bit more and put another sign on the other side of the building for sure. There's lots of real estate. You got to cover it up. You got to do something with it, you know, the vine or something, you know. Over here, back to Gillmeister Coal. The coal on the ground around the tower is from coffee grains. I saw that technique from Action Hobbies years and years ago when I first started the hobby. You just add some A&I ink to it, some black ink to it, and it's colored for life. Glue it in and it's preserved for life. The sign's from PDC Extreme Loads. That's www.pdc.ca. These golden thrush and stuff like that are from Martin Wellberg Scenery Products. So you can find those at Scenery Express, I think, coming soon. Probably when this video comes out, it'll be available at Scenery Express. I added little details here and there to show life in the model. I made a custom-made front porch because I broke the parts for the wood front porch. Happens. Just move on. Lots of little details are added around the building because that's where they'll collect up. I added some visual variation by making a picket fence around 3/4 of the way, then make some scratch-built chain link fence for the last portion. I also am going to make a section of chain link around the corner too beside the lion's head. Trucks have gotten bigger over time and they don't fit under the tower anymore, so they had to build a dirt loading ramp. I have a little structure, a control structure for the elevator down on the ground. I have to put that in still. The area behind the lion's head's going to get some grass and a place for 2 cars to park. And then I'm going to leave it open because I might want to change it. I might want to pave parts of it too. So I'm going to leave that to the last part of the diorama build. This section is going to get that other part of chain link fence that I scratch build to add a visual curiosity. Moving on, around the corner, I added a service walkway along the back of the auction building to make it to the tent structure or the tarp structure, whatever you want. On the end of the building is going to be auction advertisements painted on the wall. There's going to be an awning placed in front of the lion's head here, and lots of signs along the end of the building and stuff like that. And I just want to detail each side of the model with its own character. So I was working with Gorilla Glue lately and using it, to glue it to certain things because it's a permanent glue, but it's really hard to work with. And as you can see on the side of this model here, its foam has squeezed through and you can see its telltale yellow markings. But around the corner here, you can see how well it takes paint. This whole side had the yellow stuff coming out, and this wall totally failed. So I'm going to be hiding these things in the model. They're not perfect at all by any means. They're actually a total failure. And on the end of this model, you can see a great big crack right there, see, on the wall going through the windows and everything. So there's a lot of things that are hidden in this model that only a true experienced eye will see. Kind of like this dirt. The dirt is tinted brown here kind of like a soil. You can see here it's kind of like tan. It's my limestone dust. This limestone dust again right here. But if I pan out the camera and you look to the difference between this stuff and that stuff, you'll see that there's a subtle difference. And when you take a picture from this side of the model to that side of the model, you're going to see a totally different scene because of the tone of the dirt. Again, the dirt in the tower area is toned brown too because it's a soil-based dirt as opposed to a chip dust kind of driveway, which is common. It's a common construction material. Everything's going to change. Like I said, it's going to have its own character. You know, so each side has to be looked at. You know, when a person photographs this model, it's, you know, if they take a picture from each side, it'll be a different picture each time. Totally different model. So I guess that's all there is to say for now on the tour of the layout. I think I'm going to do a little bit of video of how I layer up colors on top of this structure because I realize that, you know, it kind of looks a little shoddy. Some of it's purposeful, some of it's experimentation. You gotta move on. You gotta, you know, do things subtly, sometimes slowly. When you've got a firm grasp of what you want to do, go whole hog. But, you know, take your time, be patient. You know, it's going to show through. I used all kinds of different materials on this roof, and I think it's going to come out really nice.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Goddamn Cortana? And also I did the walkway here along the top, which I'll talk about in the next video. So lots of stuff to do. Maybe next week the video, maybe next month. Hopefully not next year. Talk to you later, guys. Hope you liked the video. Oh, in the last video in the Gillmeister Coal series, I asked a question. It was, do you like voiceover in videos? My question for you today is, do you prefer model videos or shows where people talk about model railroad? And I'll keep it at that.